Howdy, welcome back. We are now moving on to part 4 of chapter 2. In this part, we're talking about strategic groups. So a strategic group is a set of firms emphasizing similar strategic dimensions and using a similar strategy. So competitive rivalry is greater within a strategic group than between strategic groups. If you look at a company and those that are most similar to it, they are likely in a strategic group. In airlines, we might take United, American, and Delta and put them into one strategic group because they are very similar in much of what they do. And then we might look at Allegiant and Spirit and Frontier as the budget model, a group of firms that are emphasizing similar strategies and trying to compete using similar dimensions. So I want to share with you a little bit from the semiconductor industry as it was when I worked in it. So DRAM, or dynamic random access memory, strategic groups. So there were two primary groups. One of them is the group known as the developers. These were the companies coming up with new technology. They're the ones that were pushing for faster, smaller, more efficient chips. Another group was the producers. The producers would license technology from the others. They did not have the big R&D budgets, research and development budgets. All they really focused on was efficient production of technology developed by the top five. Now, this industry has consolidated since. Kimondo was going bankrupt about the time that I was in the industry. Micron was actually able to take advantage of some of Kimondo's struggles and they were able to buy some production facilities. And Micron has since acquired Elpida. So this is a much smaller group now, but the strategic groups are going to be about the same. And then you'll also note that within these strategic groups, certain ones or certain companies are more successful. So you'll see here that Samsung is the leader. They have been the market leader for decades, followed by Hynix, and then you come up with the Micron group. So these are companies that Micron is now working with. This is after a little bit of that consolidation happened, and then you'll notice that during 2013, Elpida drops out, Micron gets bigger because they were able to acquire that company. So the results within each strategic group tend to be different. So strategic groups have several implications. Because firms within a strategic group offer similar products or services to the same customers, the competitive rivalry among them can be intense. The more intense the rivalry, the greater is the threat to each firm's profitability. The strengths of the five forces differ across strategic groups. You might have companies that are very similar to one another within the same strategic group, for whom a five forces analysis would be very similar. But if you look at a different strategic group, even within the same industry, they might come out differently. The closer the strategic groups are in terms of their strategies, the greater is the likelihood of rivalry between the groups. So your question on this section is, I want you to describe In-N-Out Burger's strategic group. Who is in it, who is not, and why?